Go ahead and start the recording. I'm about to jump right into the TM stream here. So I tested my teams last night when we finished last night's stream. Was, like I said, right around the time TM was starting. So the teams work, and we got lucky. We got a nav chart thing there to give us 4 more levels there. Go ahead and just chat. Let me pull up my order of the specials on Discord. Okay, so we got everything ready. And oh yeah, I got the CCAT chart. I need to go ahead and use it. I picked that up at the end of my run yesterday. So we'll go ahead and use this. Where is the is that the only stamina refill on this stage? Is up there? I guess we'll go that way, trying to get like the stamina refill. So we'll like a normal TM stream. Our goal is usually around like the 2-hour mark, close to it. 1.5 to 2 hour mark. Just cause like, oh yeah, another one of these. I'll take that. Just to make it, just because of how like fast, especially now with like TM is that you like get through this stuff. But we'll worry about that later. And if y'all did catch my stream yesterday, the Sora Online one, y'all know like I did not have a good day yesterday at all. That's why I'm starting the stream a little bit later. I know usually I start like right after lunchtime. I know now it's like early afternoon, but it's just because of like not feeling the best. So this one we need to use Emmett for, like I said. The other one we get to use Rebecca for as a friend captain. So, but this one Emmett's required. This team worked perfect, just like I envisioned it would. Absolutely do love. Like I like I said, I was really excited about this treasure map in general, like with the team that I built and everything, and getting to see like the synergy and how well it works together. Like I was hell excited, and as you can see with the Super Tano notification there, even though the name is Mr. Zero and Miss All Sunday, it does count as a Robin character, which is great. I know some of y'all may be like, well, duh, like, why wouldn't it count as Robin? She's right there. Just because I say that because we talked about this in the team building video. When you search Robin, like actually searching Robin, she does not come up. You have to search Sunday. So as you can see, the bind is removed by the supports that we have. And you also saw there's like a bug there, like, because I thought it was like the left column is supposed to be binded, if I'm not mistaken. But you see, like, Dory's not. Instead, like, Bonnie is. Very weird. So it's like those three kind of like in like a L shape, like the corner there, or like a Japanese like bracket shape. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and switch to Crocodile and Captain Shift. That way that moves him into the captain spot. Then we don't get our captain switched out on the next stage. As you can see, that gives a lot of resistance downs. So now that we have like done that, we can go ahead and activate Bonnie. Now remember, using Luffy and Bonnie, now that they're a crewmate, is going to trigger the special effect of Emmett, which will remove 1 turn of enemy beneficial effects. So that's going to remove that really aggravating intimidation. So now that the intimidation's gone, we can go ahead and we want to use Crocodile first. So with Crocodile, we get the weakened status, and we also get chain boundary. Emmet buffs the chain boundary and extends it. And then once we use Dory here, we'll be able to have a attack buff that now we're going to carry into the next stage because it'll still be 3 turns. So now with all that, you see we have the rainbow slots from Kuma as the crewmate, so we can just go ahead and easily, that'll break the shield and go ahead and like clear it. Now moving into the next fight, or the next stage, remember you want to use Saturn first, so that way you can, yes, he removes the paralysis, he throws the territory on there for like him and Crocodile, but also he's going to go ahead and do the increased damage taken. So now when you use Crocodile super type, he'll go ahead and you'll put Luffy and Bonnie back in the captain spot, which is very important, but he buffs that increased damage taken. So he'll go ahead and buff Saturn's increased damage taken. Next you want to use Emmet. And you also want to use Emmet's super type. Or, his super type. So that buffs that orb buff, which again doesn't matter because we have all the slot binds. So we're not getting like any orb benefit effects. Obviously we get the tap timing one, and it's buffed because we have the tag requirements. We get the one for when we hit the amount of perfects and stuff like that. So we'll get an extra like attack buff. Now that we did that, we're going to go ahead and use Kuma. We're going to go ahead and like exhaust like all of Kuma's abilities. So we use Kuma once, then his EX. Now we can trigger Kuma again. This way we can get the set target status. Color affinity, again, doesn't matter. Nobody has color affinity in this fight for us. Not a big deal for everything else we're stacking. We can go ahead and trigger Luffy and Bonnie. And because we used Emmet's super type, we already had normal attacks will ignore the effects buff. So that means we were able to go ahead and just with one launch from Luffy and Bonnie, get the double stacking conditional buff. When you use their special in general, delays through immunity, and we had the increased damage taken from Saturn. So love to see that. And we'll get the chain multiplicative buff, and then once we trigger Saturn here, we'll get the what is it called? Class advantageous buff. Yeah, so now that we have all that, you can see like even without having any like benefit of like orbs or color affinity, like we're just doing so much damage and stuff like that. Super cool. And again, like shout out to Croc and Robin, they're perfect for this fight for even more reasons than like what I didn't show there, because they also remove 2 turns of barrier, so you could use them for barrier removal. We're able to get around like the barrier and stuff with like Emmet and stuff like that. So like we didn't use them for the barrier removal, but they have that too. But like, yeah, the weakened status like is great synergy with not just Luffy and Bonnie, but with Saint Saturn. So Saint Saturn does increased damage taken. They can buff increased damage taken, and their weaken can go through immunity, by the way, if you have the right tags. Which the tags, like Saturn works for the tags because he's world government. He's strength cerebral, they're strength cerebral. Kuma, because it's not 7 Warlord tag based, it's named 7 Warlord characters or Baroque Works characters. So because Kuma's on the crew, we can trigger their super type. Again, Kuma cerebral, they're cerebral. And then of course like now like actually getting to see it in practice in the actual stage here, like in an actual fight. I want the points. We're gonna land on this. It's gonna move -2. Great, but either way, at least we're getting like the points have taken out Sharky here. Charlie, I guess. Either way, but now seeing like it actually does work, where it's like they synergize with Luffy and Bonnie because it is counting as a Robin character, so that meets part of their requirements. Again, cerebral. Again, they do weakened through immunity, which helps Luffy and Bonnie with their like buffs that they can apply. The double stack and conditional buffs. I mean, like it's awesome. Like that Crocodile Robin's so cool. Like I already thought they were the best Kazuna legend to come out last year, but with all three New Year's characters releasing, them getting like a synergy with them is it's really awesome. So shout out to Crocodile Robin. They're actually great in this treasure map because of the New Year's legends being boosted. Because even in this fight against Sugar, you could use them to remove the pain debuff. You could also use them if you want to get around the bind on that other fight too. Like they're really handy. They just do so much stuff. They're awesome. They provide so much utility, and they provide so much utility, but they also provide so much that they can help you like get so much more damage too. Like they do both. They're just really good. So we did make a minor change to this fight since my breakdown video. The VV support didn't work on Carrot and Nami like I was concerned it wouldn't, because yes, there's special changes slots, but none of the slots were being changed because they're all locked to being rainbow slots. So just to get a little extra damage on here, the only other thing I could find to like throw on them was I used that Int Sanji. I can't remember if that's V1 Sanji or not, but I used the Int Sanji support just for a little like chain buff once we launch their special. So for this one we use Saturn first. So again, like we're not gonna have to worry about the pain. Hey, what's up, Warm Cow? How you doing, man? I said earlier, if funny you said like how it's going. I said earlier in the stream, and I don't think you caught either of the last two streams because like I had to do them so much later because of stuff happening at work, forcing me to work later in the day, forcing me to start my streams later. But yesterday was a pretty bad day for me. I know, like I always say, like I'm going through some stuff in my personal life. And I keep that stuff separated from like streaming just because I want to have fun. But yesterday was a pretty rough day, and because of that, and like with my health and stuff like that, it was kind of hard for me to get up today. Obviously, you know, like you've been to enough of my like OPTC streams. You know, I like doing them usually at least an hour or two earlier than that. You know what I mean? Like usually around like after lunchtime, around 1 or something. You see, I started like 3 something today. It was because of it was just hard for me to get up with stuff going on with my health and like my mental health also. I had to cancel so many streams last week, by the way, because of like I mentioned before about me being autistic. I had a autistic shutdown. I literally couldn't do anything last week where like I couldn't engage with people. I would literally like work the bare minimum of like a shift, as I like to call it, since I would work what's available and like work at my own hours, but I would like to get 4 hours of work done a day minimum. So as soon as I get that 4 hours of work done of like task work, dude, I was just laying like I was just right back in the bed. Like I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't do like anything. It was pretty bad. So I'm kind of coming off of that, and coming off of an autistic shutdown, there's a chance of like falling back into it. Like your emotions and stuff are really like frayed and stuff like that. And yesterday, I had a lot of like problems yesterday where I was getting like triggered, like getting very angry. Stuff was just rubbing me the wrong way and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm already dealing with stuff in my personal life, so that made it like it just wasn't a really good day today. It made it really hard for me to get up today because I'm drained mentally and emotionally. And yeah, like you said, like I went live like close to like right around midnight, but it was because I didn't know if streaming today, if I would be able to get 4 hours of work done because of how tired I've been recently and stuff. So I wanted to do preemptively like overtime to make up for it. So I did 6 hours, over 6 hours the last 2 days to cover for today, just in case like if I don't get anything done. Like I'm still planning on doing like work later, but if I don't, hey, like at least I have that off my shoulders, because I'm really hard on myself. I'm the biggest critic of myself, and I put the most pressure on me. So just trying to like preemptively get that guilt removed. But other than that, not trying to let that like affect the stream or anything like that. But yeah, glad to hear from you. Glad you're here. Really, really, really excited to see you here, Warm Cow. To get to like show off these teams, because I know you got all the New Year's legends, and as you can see, probably the elephant in the room there. You see, I got Emmett. I was spending Rainbow Tavern medals whenever I got enough for a pull on part 6, trying to get the quick Super Sugo Luffy, and I got to step 5, and on my limited step, not even as a limited poster, just one of the posters in it, I got Emmett. So I actually ended up with the entire New Year's batch that way. And funny enough, Emmett is super good in this treasure map. I'm sure you've seen with your teams, because of his ability to remove 3 turns of barrier. So I'm really glad I got him. Very, very, very like excited about that. I don't know if you saw the treasure map team video I posted on YouTube, but you'll get to see the teams here now. So they do make use of all the New Year's legends. So perfect teams for you. The other one there, the other team you actually wouldn't be able to use because of how I built it, because I don't think you have the Kazuna legend that I had to use in that team. But this one you definitely could if you ran into any troubles with your own teams. You haven't started yet. This team here, I don't know if you have Nami and Carrot, but other than that, like this is all like New Year's legends that I'm using here. Co-op burnt you out? Were you like going crazy like in co-op? Because I know a lot of people were actually like going like really into co-op this time because of the like change in the steps and stuff like that. Absolutely hate that mode. Gave up on completing a portion of the missions. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I don't like co-op either. I go and like I'm like generally like a positive person. I think so anyway. I try and be like really upbeat, because like again, games are meant to be like fun and stuff like that, and like I want to have like a welcoming community and like a fun environment and stuff like that. I want to like share these games with y'all. But I'm not big on co-op either. I don't do anything like I'm trying to play a game to have fun, like you know what I mean. So I'm not going to go out my way to do something just because it's in the game, like in any game. You know what I'm talking about. So y'all have seen that in like the SAO streams, like the super hard like challenge and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm good on this. Like I'm here for the story, whatever. I'm not here just to like say like, oh, I'm one of X amount of people to beat this. You know what I mean? Like, so for co-op, like I'll go all the way to Warlord rank and I'll stop there. Just because at Warlord rank, they have those Chopper Man missions. They have the 5 Chopper Man missions for Rainbow Gems. Obviously, that's the most important thing. So I go for there. And like co-op, like it's it comes down to like RNG, like with using like for your rankings for the Grand Sugo Feast or whatever. And I know a lot of people are like going crazy in it because the steps were like better and stuff like that. Well, again, they're better based on luck, and I say that because I got to step 25. I think by the end, like I ended up having enough gems for steps. I think I got to like step like 28, I think, in the Grand Sugo Feast, and that's with the 2 months of co-op was there, only doing 30 runs, and only up to Warlord, getting my 5 done on Warlord, and then just doing the rest on like the lowest difficulty just to meet the 30, right? And making sure that crosshair is 3 a day. So that being said, I got like 28 runs, or 28 like tries on, right? So step 25 was one of the ones where everyone was trying to get to because of how like the step was and what it was and stuff like that, right? There was such like a good chance of getting like a legend on it. Maybe it was like a 10% chance, 15% chance, or whatever. Every poster was going to be a legend, something like that. Something, it could have been even more, but it was one specifically everybody was going for. That was the worst. I'm not joking, Warmcat. That was the worst singular step I had gotten. Maybe not in that co-op, maybe in all of the Grand Sugo Feast. I'm not like kidding you, bro. Like, none of the characters were boosted in points that I got. There was not a single Super Sugo Fest legend. They were all ancient rare recruits. And you know you get more points for the newer the rare recruit is. The final point total on it, and this was step 25. This was one of the ones that people were like trying so hard to get to, where they would get through the steps and then like cycle back or something. I guess you could do. I don't know. I wasn't going that crazy in co-op. Shout out to the crazy people that were. Bro, the final point total on that pull, it was like barely over 14,000. And you know that's nothing in like a Grand Sugo Feast, like singular pull, 14,000. Like, bro, that's nothing. Like, that's terrible. So it was so funny that like this one of the steps that everybody was trying so hard to get to was like, oh, like you gotta make sure like you at least get to that one. Bro, it was terrible for me. So it was so funny. But yeah, I'm like, I can't stand like co-op either. But this for when you do the treasure map though, this is the fight versus Sugar. The whole team is centered around the New Year's batch, except for the friend captain doesn't matter. Just a FYI, you can take whoever. Obviously, I'm taking Rebecca if she's available for points. Otherwise, I recommended in my video to take Kuma because he multiplies your team's health by 1.5. Just to help offset that pain debuff. You know how annoying the pain debuff is. But the way we got this set up is we use Saturn first. That way we have his chain boundary. It'll carry into stage 3. You want to make sure you use Saturn before you use Nami and Carrot because they also do chain boundary, but it's only for 1 turn, so it won't carry into the next stage. And like I mentioned about Nami and Carrot, they're here because they're going to remove the super burn, but also they give us a 30,000 heal. So it makes all 3 of the specials we used in this turn basically free. Because yeah, we're going to take the 30,000 damage, but we heal 30,000. So after we do that, like I said, we use the Sanji support because the Vivi support didn't trigger because you saw our slots didn't change. So just a little bit of extra damage on there. And then after we use them, next was Emmett to go ahead and remove that barrier, as well as give us the 2 tap timing buffs, just for some extra damage. And with the support that we have on Emmett, we can just get a little extra damage for our Int characters, which you see 4 of our team members are. So now that we did that, we can go ahead and we can take out Baby 5 pretty easily. Remember, you don't need to super switch Nami and Carrot. Just start on Nami and you're good to go there, just to save you like any amount of like swipe animations you can for the pain debuff. So now once we get to the next stage versus Sugar here, and again, I did test this team, chat. Again, like I said, there's no reason to worry about the pain debuff. If you're worried about the pain debuff for using this specific team because of them being boosted, the statistical buffs that they get, all that good stuff, and the amount of territories that we're stacking, which again, remember, the territories, the more characters you have to apply to those territories, the more damage reduction you get with the territory. And that's for each territory, plus you see we have the Mr. 3 support kick in once we get to this stage, so that's going to already give us a rainbow shield of 50%, because remember, Sugar gives a death hit of 80,000. Now after I used everything when I tested this last night, the death hit she gave us was just under 20,000, so you see we got plenty of room to like play with there, because remember, Kuma's going to heal us the second time we use them. So exhaust Kuma first, so do Kuma once. There's the territory. Again, we don't get the color affinity buff. We just need to use them twice to get the heal and the set target status. So now we can go ahead and use Kuma the second time. And again, we used our bottom row characters already, so we don't have to worry about the special reverse on them because we use them on stage 2. The special reverse on our top row characters, you see Luffy and Bonnie get theirs back from Kuma's EX. We'll go ahead and use Kuma the second time. Here's that heal that we get from Kuma. So you see 90,000 heal. And then that got us obviously 9 more swipe animations if we want them. We don't need them and we're not going to use them. But regardless, we have them. Go ahead and use Luffy and Bonnie for the conditional buff. And again, Kuma, Luffy, and Bonnie, they're giving us the supports of Atlas and Lilith so we can get the attack and orb buffs. And then we can go ahead and trigger their EX. Now we get the chain multiplicative buff. And then by using Emmett's super type last, we can buff the orb buff that we got there from our support up to a 2.15. So now you see we have 120,000 HP. You don't need to use your friend captain special like at all. And we don't need to use Saturn's EX because all it's going to do is just give him like super type and super class. And it's going to give that class advantageous buff. But remember, class advantageous buff that he gives is only for driven and cerebral. And sugar is weak to free spirit. So we wouldn't get anything for it. We would just take 10k damage for like nothing. Like, yeah, he would get like a little bit of a statistical buff, but like it's whatever, who cares. And there you go. You saw we took like 18,000 damage from her. More than enough help. So that's why I said, like, y'all don't have to worry about the pain debuff. if y'all are worried about it, like I said, you can take a friend captain like either the Robin Crocodile. They just innately remove 3 turns of pain in their captain ability. You could take Oiron Yamato and then select that as the debuff to remove on stage 2. Just use her special first. That'll give you some extra damage on stage 2 if you're worried about it, or you don't have like supports to get you some extra damage, for example. So there's plenty like that you could do there to like get rid of the pain debuff that's not like that crazy. I actually think one of the Roger Rayleigh Gabons, I think, removed pain debuff. I'm not like 1,000% sure on that. I think they do, but I'm not like yeah, like I said, I'm not like 100% sure on that, because I remember before we were thinking Roger Rayleigh Gabon removed silence, and I think it was that they didn't remove. I think instead it was pain, but watch it end up being like, no, they did remove silence, and it was pain that they didn't remove. But all that being said, Warm Cow, now that we broke down that like stage fight and like the just keeping you like updated on, you know, what's been going on with me. I hope everything's going good with you. Like I said before on the stream, that you were here in the past, feel free to at any point, if you want, like shoot me like a whisper on Twitch. Sorry, when I like mental and stuff like that. Shoot me like a whisper on Twitch, and with your like an invite to like be your friend on like Discord or something like that. However it is, like, sorry, I know I'm not like the most like technical person. Whoa, that's not who I was trying to take. I was trying to take a Emmett. Damn, need to pay attention to like what I'm saying. Shoot me like a whisper of like your Discord, like a friend request, and then that way, if you ever have like any OPTC questions or like need help like team building or theory crafting, or just want to like, you know, talk about like a new character that we saw like coming out, like my thoughts on it, your thoughts on it, whatever. You don't have to wait to do on wait to like catch me on like any random stream or stuff like that. Because like I said, like last week, like, you know, life happens, you know, everybody knows, like sometimes stuff happens. Like, trust me, like, bro, I wasn't planning on having like an autistic shutdown. Like, no, like that, like clearly like really affects, you know, me, my friends, my family, my work and stuff like that. And I don't just count like my other work, I mean like both of my jobs, like streaming, like the professionalism I bring to it. Like I felt really bad having to cancel those streams, but I had to do that for me. And I'm really trying my best not to like fall back into an autistic shutdown, because it is so possible early on, like coming out of one. But I always try and put like a positive spin on stuff. The good thing that came out of that is like literally like I would work and I would go right back to bed. And while I was in bed, like every day, like I would work, and as soon as I finished working, I would go lay down in bed, and in the bedroom I have my PS3, and I was playing Digital Devil Saga because y'all know SMT is my favorite game series. I've beaten like 15 or 16 SMT games. This is my first time playing Digital Devil Saga, and coming off of beating Personas 1 and 2. Well, the Persona 2 duology and Persona 1, beating all three of those games. Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2 is written by the same writer as Personas 1 and 2. And don't know, because I don't look up like any spoilers or anything like that when I play these games. Like, I want to fully experience, like, that's why I don't stream them either, because, like, not that I don't, like, love, like, streaming and engaging games with y'all, and y'all don't, like, spoil games for us, like, when we're playing, like, SAO, or, like, y'all know. Y'all don't do that, and I greatly appreciate that, because, like, that's obviously, like, in my stream rules and stuff like that. But I really want to, like, engross myself into, like, not that I don't love streaming, I do. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. But I want to, like, really take my time playing SMT games to, like, really stop, think about stuff, like, try and figure out, like, what could this mean for the story, or, like, you know, like, try and solve it, like, on my own, like, and I just feel like because of the slower pace that I'm playing it at, it just wouldn't be beneficial to stream. That's the big part of it, you know what I mean? So, but that being said, like, I was playing Digital Devil Saga like a madman, and, like, I probably got, like, over 20 hours into it so far, and I love it. It's so fun. 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 Like, I know people have been, like, clamoring, like, oh, man, I hope Digital Devil Saga gets remastered. Like, it should. Like, I will say this, like, it plays phenomenal. Like, I hate when people think, like, old games, like, just play like shit just innately. Like, no, they don't. Like, yes, there are some old games that play bad, even good ones. Chat, I'm about to, like, hit y'all with a hot take. Y'all know I'm a hot take person. But, bro, don't front with me, chat. Y'all know y'all just don't want to admit it. This doesn't mean the game is bad. The game is not bad. The game has bad controls. And y'all are about to say, like, this is blasphemy, I know. But put your bias to the side. OG Resident Evil 4 has some bad controls, bro. The game is great, and the game is legendary. It's phenomenal, but, bro, come on now. That control scheme is bad. And, like, I know now people are comfortable enough to admit, like, yeah, Resident Evil 1 through 3, like, the controls, I don't miss them. I know I heard Simmons from Yo Video Games say that, but, like, here recently. But, like, we need to open up the conversation that, like, OG Resident Evil 4 had some bad controls, bro. Like, but people scared to talk about that. But no, like, Digital Devil Saga is phenomenal. Like, it looks incredible. Like, I know people think, like, old PS2 games look like shit or stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, go look at Final Fantasy X. And think about how early in the PlayStation 2's lifestyle Final Fantasy X came out. And then, honestly, look at Final Fantasy 12, because Final Fantasy 12 looks better than a lot of fucking PlayStation 3 games. But regardless, Digital Devil Saga, it looks great. It's just so good. Like, it's blowing me away. Like, the gameplay's so fun and stuff like that. I love how every S&T game has their own kind of eccentricities that makes them, like, unique and stuff like that. And this one's really, really, really fun, and I'm enjoying it, like, a lot. It's really cool. It's just reminded me of so many different things, and there's other stuff where I'm like, this game had to be influenced by this. I know I haven't finished Nier Automata yet, and we will stream it, because I do want to play through the whole game, but I think, like, I don't know when the first Nier game came out. I will say that. Let me preface by saying that. But I will say I feel like Nier Automata clearly has some influence from SMT, probably 1 and 2. Probably 3 also. But definitely has some influence from Digital Devil Saga, I feel like. Because I will say this without spoiling either of those games. Like, nothing that I could say where y'all could, like, be like, oh, well, then do you know about... No, I'll let y'all know, like, specifically, I have played these 2 levels in both games. We won't talk about anything else that I haven't discussed myself as saying I played. the amusement park level in both games, as soon as I got to the amusement park in Digital Devil Saga, I was like, okay, this is reminding me of the amusement park in Nier Automata. So it was really cool. Like I mess with it a lot. Like I'm loving it. It's a lot of fun. And I'm interested to see where the second game is going to go. Like I have no idea where the first game's going to go. Like, I still have like a lot to do in it. What I just finished when I played last was the ship level. Was a deserted ship level. So I just finished it. So I'm assuming I still got like a ways to go, but it's a blast. I highly recommend Digital Devil Saga. I highly recommend Shin Megami Tensei in general, especially if you love JRPGs. Super fun series. It's just a blast. But that being said, Warm Cow, let me like, because y'all know people that were in the stream earlier, y'all have heard me sing the praises. If you saw my breakdown video, y'all heard me sing the praises. Warm Cow, now's the time, my guy. Because me and you, like, you're a regular. So me and you, like, we have great rapport. Always love seeing you in the chat. Anytime. And not just like, because like you show up to some of the other streams, we get to always chat about stuff, anime, different games and stuff like that. I know you came at me hot I know you came at me hot when I said I didn't finish Skyrim. But other than that, and I watched dubbed anime. But I know other than that, like, hey, me and you, we've had some differences. We've had some differences, but hey, you know, you're a regular. I love seeing you in the chat. Always love chatting with you, my friend. That's why I said, like, hey, shoot me the message on like Discord so I can add you as a friend there, because like I don't know if it was you that asked particularly why I'm getting like off subject here. Before, I know a couple people's asked if I had a Discord for my community yet for streaming. I don't yet, but that is something, like I said, we're planning on getting implemented here later this year. Like, no, I want you on the ground floor of that, my friend, because like it's always a blast chatting with you and seeing you like pop up in the stream. So like I can't like thank you enough. And anybody tuning into the streams, anybody that subs, anybody that donates, I can't thank y'all enough. But just tuning in and chatting and getting to share any of these games together, I greatly appreciate it. Just to stopping by and saying like, hey, what's up, or anything like that. So, but Warm Cow, for you specifically, my friend, I am going to highlight, because I know you got all the New Year's characters. I am going to highlight for you right now why this Robin and Crocodile Kazuna Legend I've been talking about so much is so damn good. If you notice on this team, I got all the New Year's Legends, but there is an outlier here, and it's Robin and Crocodile. And the reason is because they are so damn good for this treasure map. For both fights, they really are. But in the other one, I was able to make a team with all boosted characters. Why not go with it? This one, they're just so godly in here, and like seeing them like synergize. So first off, Captain Shift's character. We've talked about how great Captain Shift is. You get the benefit of having like certain captain abilities at certain times needed, which is great. So we'll go ahead and we'll Captain Shift into Crocodile. That means we get the switch effect first. So we're going to get resistance down for Cerebral, Driven, and Striker. Go ahead, switch to Captain. Yes, now we did Captain Shift. We get a second ability. Now we're going to get some more resistance down. This time for Driven, or for Dex and Strength. So you probably already are seeing there, okay, resistance down for Cerebrals. They're all Cerebrals from the New Year's, basically. Not counting like Emmett, of course. I'm just talking about the three Super Sugo Legends they have synergy with. And then, of course, you know Saturn is Strength. All right, so now that we've swapped Crocodile and Robin into the captain position, go ahead and use Luffy and Bonnie here. Now that Luffy and Bonnie is a crew member, we get the benefit of Emmett's captain ability that when Luffy and Bonnie is a crew member, or when Luffy is a crew member, and they use their special, this only happens once, remove one turn of enemy's beneficial effects, completely removes the enemy's intimidation. So now we don't have to worry about the -1 turn for chain boundaries, chain locks, attack buff and ore buff, because Emmett just erased that from the enemy. So now we can go ahead and activate Crocodile and Robin's special. which you see the enemy has 5 turns of defense up. Their special removes 10 turns of defense up. Remember, Luffy and Bonnie will let you bypass enemy defensive effects, but defense up does not count for that. And they remove 10 turns of it, Warm Cow? Come on, bro. You know, like, that's nasty. They also poison all enemies. Not through immunity, but they do poison all enemies. So here's this part here that, like, I gotta highlight for you, my dude. When the special is launched, they'll give you a type affinity if you already have a chain boundary. So, you know, that can synergize with Kuma to get double stacking color affinity. If not, you get the chain boundary. Great, and it's a good chain boundary of 3.25 to 35 for 2 turns. Now, here's where they get, like, crazy. If you have 4 or more of the following character tags on your team: Baroque Works, Paramecia, Logia, 7 Warlords, World Government, you'll inflict weakened status through immunity and become Crocodile and Robin for 3 turns. So, they count as one of those because they have all those tags. Luffy and Bonnie and Kuma, both Paramecia type. Saturn World Government. Dude, come on, man. Come on. This character sells themselves. And weakened status. Remember, weakened status gets stronger if you have increased damage taken, which Saturn does through immunity. Bro, Luffy and Bonnie. Double stacking conditional buff. The second conditional buff is against weakened and increased damage taken. Come on, dude. And there's still more to their effect I haven't even, like, put you on yet. So we'll go ahead and hit that. There's the weakened status on the enemy. We get the chain boundary because Emmett's the friend captain. The chain boundary is extended, and we also get the chain boundary buffed. Next, we're going to go ahead and activate Dory. So Dory is going to give us the attack buff that'll last 3 turns now that we have the intimidation down. So that means we'll carry it into the final stage, because we know on the final stage we're going to have that bad chain buff, or that bad attack and orb buff. And again, it's more important to have Dory than Bragi. If you don't have Dory, still take Bragi just so you can get one of the two. Just because we don't have just because of the slot bind, the orb buff isn't going to matter anyway, because nobody's going to have access to any orbs because of slot bind. So that's why we want the attack buff instead. And we can just take the weak orb buff because it doesn't matter. We're not using that anyway. So now that we're on this stage, Warm Cow again, this character isn't done selling themselves, my friend. Go ahead, and now we trigger Saturn. So Saturn's going to remove that paralysis. There goes the increased damage taken. We get the territory that'll work for him and Crocodile. So increased damage taken's on there. We go ahead and use their super type. So their super type works and can be launched as a crewmate, depending on if you're Crocodile or Robin. So you can get either a strength super type or a dex super type. Really, really, really handy. You get to choose which one you want. Their super type removes 2 turns of barrier, which is cracked already. They increase damage taken effects by 2.5. So we can go ahead and buff the increased damage taken effect we got from Saturn. Now we can go ahead and remove Captain Shift. That'll put Luffy and Bonnie back in the captain spot. So now that we use them, we're going to go ahead and use Emmett. So that way we can go ahead and get his attack buffs that he can give us related to chain, and use his super type, so that way we can get territory and get the normal attacks, ignore defensive effects buff, remove the barrier also as well there. So that way, now that we have Emmett's super type launched, when we launch Luffy and Bonnie once, we'll get both double stacking conditional buffs procced. By the way, Robin and Crocodile, for their super type, you only need to have one of the listed characters, and it's not based on tags, Warm Cow, it's based on name. So it literally lists out like Doflamingo, Mihawk, Kuma, Jinbei. It lists out like the OG 7 Warlords. and like Mr. 1, Mr. 2, and Mr. 3. So because you have Luffy, or because you have Kuma on there, he triggers their super type. Like, come on, bro, are you kidding me? And then if you since it's a Robin character, it counts towards Luffy and Bonnie's EX for needing like 3 required characters, and it also counts towards Luffy and Bonnie's super type. And or not super type, super tandem. And here's where again this character sells herself, bro. If all that wasn't enough, are you ready for this, Warm Cow? They're a super tandem boost character. And you know Luffy and Bonnie's super tandem can be applied every turn. So with Luffy, Bonnie, Robin, Crocodile, and Kuma, right? Just say like you're only starting with those 3. You need one more character to trigger Luffy and Bonnie's EX and super tandem. Every turn you could get 2 super tandem boosts to proc. Luffy and Bonnie would let you bypass defensive effects. They remove increased defense, what Luffy and Bonnie can't get through. And here's the crazy thing that, again, me and you talked about this before. This character is listed as a Egghead Arc character. They're not Straw Hat Pirates, because this is back when Robin was in Baroque Works. But they can still go through defensive effects because of Luffy and Bonnie's tags saying Straw Hat or Egghead. Bro, everybody needs to go get them this character. I'm telling y'all, if you got the New Year's characters, this character has synergy and support for Luffy and Bonnie, Kuma, and Saturn. They're just phenomenal. And being a captain shift character, you genuinely never know when that will come in handy, because shifting them into the captain spot preemptively, and it lasts for 3 turns, so you could take it into a stage you know these debuffs are coming. They reduce bind and pain debuff. So that's why they could be helpful in the other fight in this one. So very, very, very handy, like useful character. I mean, that's my video essay, my part 7 of why like y'all should get this character. And that's not coming from me being Robin being my favorite character and Crocodile being another one of my favorite characters. That's from me like being, I play Treasure Cruise and I can see like, hey, this character's under fucking rated. Like, people are not gassing up this character like they should. To be fair, when the character first came out, a lot of people were like, hey, this is a really good character, but, I'm kind of iffy about pulling on Kazuna banners. And I get that. Because 9 times out of 10, the Kazuna legend is only going to be good in that one Kazuna. But sometimes you have to, like, if you've played Treasure Cruise for so long and stuff, you'll be able to identify, like, okay, wait a minute, this character is going to be valuable for it pretty much indefinitely. You know what I'm talking about? Like, a good example of that was when Treasure Map Legend Usopp debuted. Again, it was very easy to see, like, okay, wait a minute now, this guy's Dex, Free Spirit, Shooter. So he already has synergy with like that 10th anniversary ace, but more importantly, he's a Straw Hat legend, and he fits like he works with like all those things and stuff like that. The super tandems, EXs, like whatever with Straw Hats, but he's Free Spirit Straw Hat, which there's a ton of those, and he can give set target stats, and y'all know how good set target stats is. So it's like, that was one where he was like, okay, I got to get this guy. Like, he's just going to be good for, like, ever, basically, being boosted in every treasure map. You know what I mean? Treasure Map Buggy is another great example of, like, okay, this guy's going to be good, like, indefinitely, because he's always going to be boosting that game mode. Let me grab him. Toki is a great example for Kazuna. Like, when she debuted, she immediately had value. Bon Clay, when he debuted, he immediately had value. So, that's how, like, I think people kind of were like, well, it's a Kazuna legend, like they're only gonna be good in that Kazuna. And then 9 times out of 10, like, you're right, but that Kazuna legend is, no, they're good outside of Kazuna, and like just in general, like they're actually, like, I was talking earlier about how they have so much utility, but they also give you so much damage. Like, it's rare to get that much out of a character that isn't a Super Sugo Fest character, you know what I mean? Or an anniversary character even. Like, I feel like I've never seen a legend do so much and not be at that level. I'm not like I'm not like being like hyperlative. I'm being serious. Like usually, like they'll do like okay, hella. And again, just not talking about like Super Stugo Fest or Anniversary Legends. They'll usually do like hella utility, or they'll do like a little bit of utility and a little bit of like damage stuff. But this one's like just ridiculous. So shout out to Robin and Crocodile. I'm trying to think of like another like. It's tough to think of like another character that isn't at that level that does so much. Honestly, like I'm being serious. It's tough. It really is tough because like they bring so much to the table. They bring so much to the table, and it's funny. Like all of it was quality stuff. None of it was like dumb shit. Because there are a lot of characters that do a lot of stuff, but it might not all be like worth a damn. And I'll say like like some slasher legends, unfortunately, like maybe like does all this stuff, and like you could get some like really stupid shit like base attack buff, which base attack isn't like a great one. Like it's on the list of like buffs. Like base attack's pretty low on the totem pole, and then increase crit chance and increase crit attack damage, like which are like probably the two worst buffs. You know what I mean? So it's like there's been characters that do a lot of stuff, but they might not do a lot of good stuff. This character does a lot of stuff, and it's all valuable. Like it's all worth a damn. In addition to like their synergies. So if y'all don't know by now, chat, get the legend. Next time you see it available, I recommend it. But hey, that's just me. Y'all can choose to spend your gems however y'all want. Which, by the way, Warm Cow, it's funny, like you talking about like, your gripes and stuff you were saying with co-op. By the way, just to jump back on that. Speaking of like game mode stuff, like I was working so hard over the weekend and like stuff like that. Trying to like coming out of like my autistic shutdown to like get myself ready for like this week to okay, let me like make my TM teams, film my TM video, make thumbnails and stuff like that, like all this kind of stuff. So I was working so hard on Sunday specifically. I actually had to film my TM video twice because I had like an issue like 40 minutes into like filming. Like, I was right there near the end, and I said like, "Oh my god, I like totally just said something like totally wrong." And here like 35 minutes ago, I just realized. So let me just start the video back over. So I had all that stuff going on that I actually completely forgot about OPTC Run until the next day when I saw like in the game where it says, "Hey, OPTC Run's available every Sunday," and I remembered. I was like, "Oh, yeah, it is." So I won't be getting Rainbow Tavern medals from OPTC Run this week, unfortunately. Totally forgot about it, dude. It just slipped my mind, like. But I'm not like a. Well, I'm not gonna say like I'm not like a big fan of OPTC Run. Like it's whatever. It's a once a week like event thing, and it's fast to do. Like it's whatever. Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Obviously, getting the Rainbow Tavern medals would have been like nice and stuff like that, but it's no biggie. There's plenty of other worse stuff that you could have forgot about in OPTC. But man, I'm not too good at OPTC run. I think I've gotten like, I think the most I've got has been like just barely over 90,000 once. I know like they have the missions to get like to 100,000 or whatever for some Rainbow Tavern medals. Hopefully like I can get to that just to get those medals and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not too good at OPTC run. And also, by the way, Warm Cow, no need to thank me about like saying that about like sending me the friend request on Discord. Like, no man, thank you for like being so like engaged in the community like always. Like, I greatly appreciate it. I know a lot of times when you do catch the OPTC streams, because of the time of day it is, you're usually coming in on like a break or like some downtime from like work and stuff like that. Hopefully, not being worked too hard. And don't worry about like, I know you said like hadn't even like started the event yet. No need to like worry about it, man. For you to have like all the New Year's legends, like as you can see here, like it's not too tough to build around with the New Year's legends, so you'll be good to go. And they're all still boosted right now since it's only February, so you'll still get like your points and stuff pretty easily. So. But I will say, man, like I do like now that I actually have him and get to use him. I knew he was good to begin with. I just obviously didn't pull him. But now that I have Emmett, I actually do like using him a lot. Do you use Emmett in Pirate Rumble on your team? Because I know you run the Luffy, Bonnie, Kuma Pirate Rumble team, which I actually pivoted to using them instead of the Five Elders. Um, I actually did switch over to using them instead. So I've got like I'm using them with Sabo and Oiran Yamato are my other two legend spots, and the last spot on my front line is York. Um, and then my bench is S Hawk, Apu, and Legend Eva. Eva's only there just so I have enough cerebrals to trigger all of York's abilities. I was one short. I had someone else there. I can't remember. I think like Smoker maybe. The Pirate Rumble Rare Recruit Smoker. But then when I realized like, oh, I need a certain amount of either Driven or a certain amount of cerebral characters for all of York's abilities to trigger, I've ended up pivoting to Eva just to make sure I had the requirements. I put Eva last on there because I was like, obviously I want S Hawk to come in first, and then probably Apu just for like the general like int buffs, but I don't know. I'm not 100% on like Apu and Eva. I might swap them out. I gotta look at like my whatever like Rumble like legends and stuff I have and characters I can pick from to see like, do I have any better cerebrals or int characters I could put here like in their place. So I'm not 100% on them. S Hawk obviously isn't leaving. He's too good. Anybody who's played Rumble, y'all know where S Hawk is. He's probably like one of the best Rumble characters in the game, period. Alright, so from here, Saturn. Yeah, I'm glad glad y'all are all like chilling with us, tuned in. I really appreciate it. Got my iced coffee. We're cooking through this treasure map so far. I'm having fun. Like I really genuinely am enjoying this treasure map like even more than the last one. Like which is funny because I know like the New Year's like was right there, was like fresh and stuff like that. So it was more centered around them loosely, I would say. Because it was more centered around like the TM like batch, like with that Vegapunk and stuff, but nah, this one I'm having like a lot of fun using and stuff. Or building around, I mean. I got yesterday delivered in the mail. I got my second structure deck of the my second Jack Atlas structure deck delivered. So now I just gotta get like I already have my outer sleeves, so now I need to get the inner sleeves delivered and the deck box. I can start like putting everything like together like in that regard, so that's pretty exciting. One, two, three, four, five away. And then of course I need my playmat also to be able to then like go to the trading card shop and play. But it's cool. I'm really happy about that. I'm excited though. Assuming I do get to like work today, I'm gonna try my best to, even if it's for a little while. It has been a little skimp on work, but if I can get as much as I can done today, I am gonna try to up to my 4 hours since I did the extra the prior 2 days. I won't do anymore. And it's funny, like that's 4 hours of that work. I also did the streaming too, so it's like since I did over 6 hours yesterday and then streamed over 4 hours the last 2 days, it was like I worked over 10 hours like the last 2 days. So that's why I'm beat and just very drained mentally. But I will say this, I am very, 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 very thankful, Chad, and I do not take it for granted. One, having a job, being able to, you know, I know not everybody has that luck, and two, not everybody is in a position where they enjoy the work that they have. I do enjoy both of them. Obviously, like yes, the streaming, I bring professionalism to it of like a job and take it seriously like a job. But it's also a lot of fun. It's a lot of stress relief and stuff like that. So it's like a work hobby kind of thingy. It's just a blast. Like I just love it. And the other job, my like task work, I actually do enjoy the work, not just the flexibility of like having my own schedule and stuff like that. It's actually like a lot of fun and stuff. 90% of the time, it's a lot of fun. It ain't perfect, I'll say that, but yeah, most of the time it's fun. Yeah, I can't wait to play more like Digital Devil Saga though. Like, dude, I'm loving it so far. It's so cool. I know they announced that new like Digital Devil Saga like figure coming out. Um, so that's pretty cool. I know that got a lot of people's like hopium going of like, oh, does this mean like we're gonna get? I don't. I hear y'all, and I'm for it. Like I'm for it because I'm enjoying loving the game too. Hopefully, yeah, remaster or remake. Like, oh man, that would be cool and stuff like that. But I just don't think that the announcement of a new Digital Devil Saga figure immediately equates to the game's 100% getting a remastered or stuff like that. Unfortunately, I would love it. Don't get me wrong, I would love it, but I think before anything, I think before they would do that, we would probably get a Kuzunoha Part 2 remastered. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Kuzunoha, was it a remaster or was it a remake? It just came out last year. I think that was only the first game. Which I hope sold well, because I would like the second game to get remastered too. I've never played either one of them yet. Cause y'all know me, like I don't buy games like brand new. I look for like deals and stuff like that. Wait for deals. So, but also in that regard, I wanted to wait and see. Like, okay, so is there plans for the second game to get remade or remastered, whichever it was, or no? Because that might, to me, determine if I play the PlayStation 2 games or if I play. Well, obviously they're both remastered. I'd play both the remasters, but what I'm trying to say is if there's only one remaster, it might tempt me more to only play the PlayStation 2 games just so I can have like consistency, like visually. Definitely keep this in mind, like in the future chat about Emmett having that ability when you have a crewmate member of Luffy use a special, removing one turn of beneficial effects, because that can be just very, 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 very handy at certain times, like it comes in play today. Especially in a super boss scenario. Because intimidation's like the biggest thing I would think of to remove. And it's just so handy, like it's such a cool effect, and to be able to capitalize on it like this with Captain Shift, just definitely keep that in the back of your mind, because the synergy here, it's I know, like I keep like talking about stuff like that, but it's very satisfying for me. For like, y'all know Treasure Cruise is like my favorite game. It's just very satisfying for me to see like the mechanics of the game work so well, because there is, y'all play Treasure Cruise enough, y'all know like there's characters that are like very clunky and stuff like that, but to see like how we're able to make this game work like this, it's really cool. It genuinely makes me happy, because like it is my favorite game. So the way like the captain shift allows like, oh, now Luffy and Bonnie like temporarily are a crewmate, so we can get that effect from Emmett, and then when we get them back to captain spot, thanks to Kuma's like great ability, we can use them again and stuff like that. Like it's really, really, really cool. Disable captain shift, yes. Emmett first so we can get the double stacking conditional buff. Then Kuma. God, man, that was a lot of fun yesterday. Getting to see and like getting like kind of lost, like exploring that new DLC area in Fatal Bullet. It's just so different than the rest of the game. Like, yeah, like all the enemies we fought, they were just like reskins or whatever. But it's just the fact that like no area in the game like looked like that. And yeah, I get it. Like it's tropey. Like there's like, well, of course there's gonna be a snow area or like in a game. Like yeah, whatever. Like it's what you come to expect. But it's just the fact that like the visual contrast of how different that area looked than everywhere else in the game. Even from like the skybox was just really cool. How since it was like snow, it was nighttime, but everything was still like kind of like lit and stuff like that because of like how the moon, would be on like snow and stuff like that, like the reflection of it. It's just really cool. Visually it was very impressive and like very cool. But the fact that like the scope of it, that it was just the area was just so much bigger than all the other areas that were in the game already. It was just really cool and like added a lot of value to that DLC in my opinion. I'm definitely excited for the next time we play Fatal Bullet to actually then check out the dungeons, because I'm assuming like if like I said, if the outside's that big, I would hope that the dungeons are that big also. And then to be added to it the ship, which maybe the ship is part of DLC 5 and that's just where they put the teleporter for it. So who knows? We won't know until like we continue the story. But either way, like it was really cool. Like I actually liked it a lot. Now, assuming though that we stream tomorrow, we wouldn't be playing Fatal Bullet. As much as I want to, we only have the 2 bonus episodes left of Revelations 2. So it would be nice to like kind of beat those. And just my thinking is like, well, Resident Evil 9 is about to come out. That don't mean people are immediately trying to look at like Revelation 2 streams, but maybe it'll help us get like a little more views. Just a fraction, maybe. Who knows? There's not people out there that don't like Revelations 2. I saw a lot of people last week actually talking about how much they like Revelations 1 and 2, which was dope. Like I thought it was really cool. I even mentioned something about it. I even said like, who else has a copy of their misprint first edition copy also of Revelations on 3DS? Which again, I can't stress it enough. Like if y'all never seen what that game looks like on 3DS, like it's one of the best looking 3DS games for it to be so early in the 3DS's lifespan. Like it's easily one of the best looking. Like it's quite impressive. I wouldn't say the best, but it's one of them because you're pretty hard pressed to find a game that looks better than Xenoblade Chronicles on the 3DS. Like Xenoblade Chronicles looks pretty damn good, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon look pretty damn good also. But there's actually a lot of games I think look good on the 3DS. Again, like it is my favorite console, but I feel like they got a lot out of the machine. Like either they got a lot out of the machine, or the machine's more powerful than like I give it credit for. I think like because stuff does look good, like good on it. Like the Yokai Watch games look great. Um, love it, absolutely love the 3DS. I just don't get why as good as it like looks does what's it called run at those frame rates. Metal Gear Solid on the 3DS. I didn't realize like because I actually don't own that 3DS game. I didn't realize the frame rates on it were so like low. Funny enough, because I was like, oh man, well if I'm gonna play the game, I might as well play a 3DS version because like I love 3DS. Like why not? Usually, if I can play the 3DS version of a game, I will. Um, but yeah, it's funny. Like I just don't know why they like cut the frame rates like that because it like no joke. I think it runs at like it's abysmal. It's the Metal Gear Solid on 3DS like it's pretty fucking bad. I think it's like I'm not even joking. I think it's like 20 frames. I know that may sound like a meme, but I swear to you, I swear I think like it runs at 20 frames a second. I'm not 100% sure, but so don't quote me on that if it's not. Maybe it's 30. I don't know, but I thought it was 20. I've been thinking about the possibility chat of over there near my PS4 and Wii U is the 360. I've been thinking about like, is there any 360 games like that I would be interested in streaming? And no joke, chat. I kinda want to stream. I don't know how expensive it would be. I'm sure like not that expensive because I think I made like a ton of copies of it because it was like first party Microsoft. I'm pretty sure. Kind of want to check out Blue Dragon. So I've been thinking about like I might get a copy of Blue Dragon, stream it. Maybe that just depends on how like much I want to like, actually set up my 360 and stuff like that. I actually don't know if any of my controllers work. Which if the controllers don't work, then that's clearly a big problem there. Because then I'd have to think like, do I really want to invest in getting another controller? I know you are probably thinking like, well, why don't you stream the PS3? Because I got hella PS3 games and a lot that I would like to stream, but man, dude, the PS3 like I have problems with that PS3's disk drive to where like it's so hard to get it to take a disc. Like it takes like no joke. Like I was trying to think of like a correct number. Like 80 tries probably for it to like actually hold a disc. It'll like go in. It'll make it think like the disc is gonna go in, and then it'll eject it. And the disc won't be like messed up or nothing like that. It's just like it just takes forever for it to actually lock the disc in place. So it's like once I get one in place, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna want to play this game for months. You know what I mean, Chad? Yeah, I'm literally like locked in. Like, well, it's a commitment to play the PS3, a disc-based game that is. But no, I love my PS3. Like played the absolute hell of it, and still do. Like I said, I'm playing Digital Devil Saga on it right now. After I beat Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2, I don't know what the next SMT game will be that I go into, but I have regular Persona 4, and I also have Persona 3 Festival on there. Don't know if those will be the next SMT games I play or what would, but I'm just going to wait and see. Kind of do want to go ahead and play Persona 3 Festival. Because the thing is, like, I want to beat, like, if I can just beat Festival and Persona 4 Golden, then I can play Ultimax's story. But it will also allow me to, like, okay, now I can play, like, I would want to play Persona 3 in these orders. I'd want to play Festival, then Portable to do Katone's story, and then Remake. Which I still can't believe. I know, like, everybody is too. I still can't believe they didn't do, like, her story in the remake. They just didn't, like, include that in any kind of way. It's very, very weird. But I don't. Yeah, like I said, I don't know where after Digital Devil Saga where I'm gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna play SMT 5, Persona 3, Festival, or Metaphor. If I could get physical copies of Metaphor or SMT5 for not too much, which I'm sure, like, I'd be able to find, like, deals and stuff like that, like, so I'm not too worried about that, then I would probably go with one of those two, but we'll have to, like, wait and see. Just because, like, I really do want to play those two games. Not that I don't want to play the others, but y'all know what I mean. But I really do want to see Ultimax's story. Where are we at right now? We got 2 million so far. Okay. Go ahead and cook Sadie. Like, interesting character choices for this treasure map. I know it's like an OPTC girl thing. It's Charlie, Sadie, Alvita, and Monet. I feel like Alvita is the one that makes, like, okay, yeah, I could see, like, her being there. Sadie's definitely probably the randomest, I would say. Sugar's not that random for the legend to be Rebecca. Like, that makes sense, and, like, Sugar is on a lot of, like, full color pages and stuff like that. Charlie's just interesting over, like Shirahoshi. You know what I mean? Over Shirahoshi and over Kami. Like I feel like Charlie's just an interesting choice. But hey, like I don't, I'm a Charlie fan, so like it's cool. It's just very like it's not what you expect. I feel like I wouldn't mind if they're going to continue like the OPTC girls celebration thingy for the worldwide anniversary character. I wouldn't mind for it to be who's getting the super evolution? Ulti? Yes, it might be a Yamato. Yeah, if it's Ulti, it might be a Yamato because I couldn't imagine it. Not that I don't like love this character, but I could not imagine an anniversary legend Black Maria. So probably be like I think Yamato's a good bet there. It would be really, 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 really cool if it was Okiku because I'm a huge Okiku fan. Like that would be pretty sick. But again, I just don't foresee an anniversary exclusive Okiku. But it would be cool, and I would think like this would denote definitely qualify to be like an anniversary exclusive character. Is an Uta would be really cool. Let's swap these. Yeah, I'm glad like all of our teams work like as intended. The only the only thing that didn't was so minor. It was just the support issue on Carrot and Nami. Luffy Bonnie, and then Emmett, and then now we can clear. Just want to see what our navigation level is. After we finish this fight, just give me like 1 second. I'm gonna check my notifications on my phone just in case, because I have it on do not disturb like while we're streaming and stuff. But I need to like just double check them real quick. Damn, nav level 19. Hell yeah. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna switch it over. Let me just put on be right back. Okay, so we only have like a little bit of stamina left, so we'll be able to fight Reiju once more. So we'll do that, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Because in this like we're not going to get to a stamina refill and stuff like that, but we can at least like fight Reiju once more, and then we can go ahead and like wrap everything up. Because I see we've streamed for like literally an hour and a half and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to wait like just a minute or a few minutes just to get Reiju ready to go. I can at least like let me just like check over here real quick. I can go ahead and shut my iPad off. I don't need it anymore. Alright. While we wait for the stamina to come back, let me switch over to just chatting for right now. So we have like 2 minutes just until he's gonna chat and like check my email and stuff like that real quick. But yeah, like the next stream that we do will probably be Rev 2. I don't know if we'll finish the game. Like I don't know how long those special episodes are, so I don't know if we'll get both of them done, if we'll only get one of them done. But either way, that's what the next stream will be. Will be Rev 2. After the Rev 2 stream, then we will jump back into Fatal Bullet. Even if we don't finish Revelations 2, we'll do like one before we go back to Fatal Bullet. Just because I gotta check out that DLC area some more. Like it's too exciting. So that will be more than likely tomorrow. The only reason why it wouldn't be is if like only reason why it wouldn't be tomorrow is if like any reason or anything where like I just wasn't like feeling good, like either mentally, physically, like hurting or just not doing good. But otherwise, like yeah, more than likely tomorrow will be the Rev 2 stream. So keep y'all updated on that. Alright, let's flip back over here because I see we got only 30 seconds gameplay until we fight Reiju. So we got to 2.3 million, just a hair under 2.4. So we'll fight Reiju, and then I'll wrap up the stream, and then yeah, probably since I don't have stamina after that, it'll probably be a good time to go ahead and pivot into doing my regular work as long as it's available. I gotta catch it when I can. It's been scarce at some points, so and scarce at some points, and having like the computer issues and stuff where the system was down. same character. That's all I'm trying to do. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, the rest of your week. I hope to catch y'all on the next stream for Rev 2 possibly clearing the game. Not 100% sure, but hopefully we will be. I think that'd be fun. Okay, so this was Captain Shift, then Luffy Bonnie, and Crocodile. I don't get what's the purpose of doing damage nullification and threshold. Like, why Emmett adds that? I mean, my only thinking is, like, there's got to be some kind of synergy with some character that, like, maybe I just can't think of off the top of my head, where it's like, get this effect if you have, like, if your crew has threshold, you'll get this. If your crew has damage nullification, like, there's got to be somebody that makes effect of that. I don't know. Maybe Emmett doesn't. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Yes, disable switch. Because it's funny having like HP guard plus damage nullification plus threshold. I don't know. Kuma was next. I was struggling to remember, like, I was like, who are we launching? Saturn's EX. Go ahead and trigger that. Go ahead and trigger that. Luffy Bonnie's EX, and we can go into Saturn, so it just got activated. And then we will be good to go. Cool. All right. And now we did that, we are going to see what our score is, and we will be done. Just under 2.5. We'll go ahead and we will stop it there. Thank y'all so much, guys, again for joining me today. Was a lot of fun. Glad we got to use these teams. They were a blast. Sunlight's like right in my eye. Good time to wrap up too, because yeah, the sun at this time of day is like catching me right in the face. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Like I said, next stream more than likely tomorrow, barring anything with like my health and stuff like that, and will be Revelations 2 if it is. So is the plan. Even if we can't do both of the extra episodes in one stream, we'll try to get at least one of them done. So hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I will catch y'all hopefully tomorrow. Good luck in your treasure map runs and with your rewards. Later, everybody. Gosh, can't.